Hi listeners, you are welcome to the continuation of our physics tutorial class from your favorite student ScoreBooster video tutorial, your online tutorial provider on JAMB, WAEC, NECO and NAPTIP exam. Well, today's lecture will be focusing on Newton's first law of motion. I am Bangwade A. Before we proceed with today's lecture, I will urge you to please refer to our video 1, which is on linear motion, as this will serve as the foundation for the Newton's law of motion. There we discuss the basic terms necessary in motion as well as the equation, the definition of each terms, as these are very important concepts to consider, as it will assist in better understanding of Newton's law of motion. So I please urge you to refer to our video 1 to get necessary foundation for this particular course. Now on to the Newton's first law of motion. Before we go into that properly, we have to take note that motion occurs in response to a force, which can either be a pull or a push. Then, when you talk about the Newton's first law of motion, it states that a body continues in a state of rest or uniform motion unless a net external force acts on it. A body continues in a state of rest or uniform motion unless a net external force acts on it. So, it is also known as law of inertia. Newton's first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Law of inertia. Inertia is the tendency of an object to be in a state of rest or uniform motion. Inertia is the tendency of an object to be in the state of rest or uniform motion. Now, having understood the definition of inertia, the next is to consider the factors affecting inertia of an object, and this include the mass and center of gravity. Now, let's consider the case of mass, assuming we have these three objects A, B and C. So A is the largest of them all. We therefore have the highest mass, then followed by B and lastly C. So the higher the mass, the more the inertia of an object. So the inertia of A is going to be greater than B, while B will be greater than C. Now, concerning the center of gravity, the lower the center of gravity, the more the inertia of an object. So we consider these three objects A, B and C. In A, the center of gravity is highest, then followed by B, in which it is medium, and lastly C, in which it is lowest. So the lower the center of gravity, the more the inertia of an object. So the inertia of the object in descending order will be that the inertia of C will be greater than B, while B will be greater than A. That means the stability of C is greater than B, while B is greater than A. So we have the highest inertia in C, while the lowest is in A. Now, on to practice questions. We are also having three objects A, B, C having the same mass but with different position. So you are to determine the increasing order of their inertia. So our next video will be on Newton's second law of motion with sample questions and solutions from UTME. So I urge you to please be expecting our next video, as it's going to be more interesting. As I urge you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, as we promise to be bringing you more interesting lectures, specifically on physics relating to UTME past questions and their relevant solution. So thanks for your interest in us.